Welcome, friends. My name is Avinash Gorakshekar, and I welcome all of you to another interesting episode of Konexio HighFlyers. Friends, in these episodes, we talk to you about emerging smaller companies from emerging sectors, and we talk to them about their business model, their business growth, their business journey overall. And in this process, we also, introduce you to the promoter of such companies, basically to, make us all understand their company's operations better. And today, friends, we've got a very interesting company, by the name of Silicon Rental Solutions Limited, and we have the privilege and the pleasure of having the managing director of the company, Mr. Sanjay Motiani. Sanjay ji, thank you for sparing your valuable time with us today. I think a
Thank
short
you, sir. Thank you for inviting me.
yeah. So I mean, just wanted to add that this is a small interaction from our side, but it will help us understand your company's operations in a much better way.
Yes,
Yeah.
very
So,
much. Tell
Sanjay
me,
ji,
sir.
first question which is elementary, for all of us, including me and our viewers, is that if you could explain in a very simple manner, what is the business model of our company, and how did this business journey start? I was just reading your company's prospectus, your presentation. It's a very unique business model, and it is extremely profitable. So, how did this journey start as an entrepreneur for you? And secondly, what is the positioning now of your company in the domestic market, especially as far as your vertical is concerned? So if you could add some color and start.
Sure, sir. Thank you. So basically, we are a IT infrastructure rental company. We rent laptops, desktops, firewalls, workstations, servers, tape drives, CCTVs. So basically, we give everything on rent. So as you know, this IT is basically a very you need huge service requirements are there, and so basically we take care of the complete model wherein we deploy new systems. We also take care of the logistics. We take care of the complete service. In addition, we provide engineers to support you all. So the company's IT needs are taken care of totally by us. So you have a one point contact, and you don't need to run for engineers or look for engineers, or there's pilferage happening. So many things are there. So this everything is taken care of by us. So you have to just take care of our rental amount every month, whereas we take care of everything on the back end, right from supplying to deploying, right from logistics. Especially if you see during COVID, there's a huge requirement of PCs all over the country. So we have pan India presence. So we supply and deploy these machines everywhere, and we take care of the complete support, the service, everything from our side. So that's how our business runs.
Okay. And Sanjay ji, one thing which I wanted to understand is, if you could tell us how old is our company, and when did we actually start? Like, on your business, you mentioned very clearly what exactly does the company do. But कितना पुराना हमारी company है? How long have we been in this business?
So basically, I have been into IT for last 25 plus years. So we were
Okay.
into sales, service, AMC business. So Silicon Rental Solutions was started in 2016. That's when we totally focused on renting business, and from there the journey has been, um, I mean, superb to say the least. So we've grown leaps and bounds, and we are the first IT rental company to be listed in
Yeah.
BSE. So
Exactly.
that is another feather in our cap, and we've been there for these last 8 to 9 years, and we've been growing steadily. And like you said, our profits have been very good since last 8 years, and we
Yeah.
are performing and we are growing continuously. So that is the this thing of our company.
Okay. Okay. No, I think nicely articulated by you, Sanjay ji. Okay, Sanjay ji. Now, my next question to you is that if you could tell us, what is the broad active customer base of our company? What is the repeat business we get from our existing customers? Please, tell us.
So basically, we have various models. We give laptops, desktops, everything for even a day, and we go up to right up to 60 months. So with all the bigger companies and corporates, MNCs, with various institutes, we tie up for a longer period. So our most of the tie-ups are for a longer duration. So we have a repeat order month on month already signed. In addition, due to our marketing and expansion and sales team, we get regular orders, and this adds to our kitty, and that's how we are growing further. So the best part is that we are covered for at least next 3 to 5 years on a regular basis with our regular orders. In addition, because of our expansion, our sales force, our marketing, and our digital marketing, we expand on a regular basis month on month.
Okay, now in terms of the product segments, Sanjay ji, if you could tell us how the pricing is decided with every customer. Like, is it a customized package, or do you have a kind of a product bouquet which you offer to the customers? When you talk about rental solutions, may be different for each customer. So if you could tell us something on that.
See, basically, there's no standard pattern to it. Actually, like I said, we give it for 1 day, we give it for a month, we give it for 60 months. So actually, everything depends on the duration, and basically what is the product, what is the location we need to give it at. So all these things, totally we need to work on all these things to decide on the pricing factor. It's not so simple where we just take a product, the price, and work out the interest and just forward it to the client. So basically it depends a lot on the quantity, the location, the service they require, the kind of company that is there. So the duration is the most important factor. So the longer duration, the price goes lower. So that's how normally our pricing goes.
Okay, okay, understood. Okay, now tell me one thing, Sanjay ji, that in terms of the competitive landscape in our business, like, apart from our company, are there any listed or unlisted companies which compete with us? And typically, what is the most important competitive advantage of our company? Like, when customers come to us, obviously they are happy, that is why they stick with us. But in your own assessment as a promoter of the company, if you could tell us some qualitative points that you could tell us that which are really strong for our company as compared to the other players in the market.
So basically, we are among the top five best rental companies. We are the only listed company in this field. So we are, I mean, in terms of turnover, also we are among the top five. And so basically, there is competition definitely, but not as much as you would have in normal trading business or any other business. See, this is a very huge investment based business. So it's not everybody's cup of tea where you can invest such a high amount on a regular basis. I'm not talking about one laptop. Normally the orders are 500,000. So every time you're looking at an investment of 5 crores, 10 crores. So when you're looking at that kind of investment, it is not everybody's cup of tea to invest this kind of money and expect the returns to come to you after 3 years. So that is why the competition is not as prevalent as in other businesses. And because we are there from such a long time and we have a good client base, we have a good collection every month, we have an upper hand to most of the new people who are coming this field. So that is another advantage that we have.
Okay,
Thank you. Yeah.
fine, understood. So now, Sanjay ji, if you could tell us something about the broadly about the financials of the company, at least on the last year, that is FY23, and if possible, for the first 3 months or 6 months of FY24, if you could tell us something on the revenue, on the profit, if you could
So
add some color on that and enlighten our
yes.
viewers.
So basically, we are a fast growing company. We've been growing 35 to 40% year on year. And we just gave our 6 months results a few days back. So we had a very good result. We showed profits in excess of 37 to 40%. And so if I compare last year, we did in the last year 6 months we did around 17 and a half crores. This year in the 6 months we've done 25 crores. So we are looking at roughly around 50 crores plus revenue this year.
Okay.
Our PAT, which was around 5.42 last year, which was good, we've done even better this year at 7.13. EPS was 4.69. We've jumped up to 6.73. So basically, we've been growing well, and our turnover has been increasing, and we are trying to maintain the same PAT margins. So it's been a good run for us.
Okay. Sanjay ji, now tell me one thing. Is there any seasonality in our business? Like the first half is slightly better or the second half is slightly better? If you could tell us that, or maybe all the 4 quarters are more or less similar for our company.
It's similar. Like I told you, we are mostly tied up for a certain duration. So our orders are already, our turnover is almost decided. I mean, in addition, rather, we do better with the number of new orders that are coming in. So there's
Okay.
nothing
Okay.
seasonal in this, and we have a normal growth and normal sales that happens month on month.
Okay. Okay. And another thing, Sanjay ji, I wanted to ask you now on the profitability margins. As I mentioned to you earlier, we have a very high EBITDA margin since it's a service business. So, do you expect these margins at the operating level of almost 80 odd percent, 80, 82% to, sustain over the next, say, 2 to 3 years? Are you pretty positive that as you get more customers, will this EBITDA margin be sustained at least, or maybe you expect further improvement? What is your thought?
See, improvement will be a difficult this thing to definitely. I mean, we are already doing very very high in terms of EBITDA and PAT margins, so I don't expect a huge jump. But yes, PAT will definitely increase. Our turnover will definitely increase, and we are doing that regularly on month basis. So I don't expect my percentage margins to go up higher. But yes, our PAT is definitely increasing. Our profits are increasing. Our turnover is increasing. So that is a good aspect.
Okay. No, no, understood. It's really getting reflected in your numbers, Sanjay ji. So, all the brownie points to you. I mean, very profitable business.
Yeah.
Sanjay ji, now tell me
Thank you.
one thing
Thank you.
broadly in our business, what is the working capital cycle? What is the kind of timeline, you have with your customers from the time you get an order, you service them with the, rental products. How are the collections, from the customers? Like broadly, in how many days does the customer pay you for your services? Or is it something like a prepaid service? Like he has to pay some
It's not.
advance and then
It's
you
prepaid to a certain extent, yes, but we have a cycle of around 30 to 60 days. So we are very much
okay,
in that range where we cover our payments mostly in the 60 days to 60 to 70 days, or uh, we have
okay,
our cycle which where we collect on a regular basis. So
okay. And just to get a small customer profile of your company, Sanjay ji, typically, which are the type of companies? Are these large corporates or are these SME kind of companies or are these MSME companies? If you could give us some idea about your customer profile.
no, I mean, if I start naming Tata's, L&T, Reliance, Aditya Birla, Mahindra's, Cisco, Apotex, Geo, BPOs, KPOs, so it's an unending, a client list that we have. So it's
Okay,
who's who of the industry basically who take on rent,
okay,
and it just depends that
okay,
people might take it for a shorter duration, and there might be clients who will take it for a longer duration. But if you see,
okay,
people are moving from capex to opex, and if you see in the long
okay,
run it makes more sense where a company has no headache of maintaining the machine, maintaining, taking care of the purchases. So all those things when we take care of, and in the long run it really makes sense that you hand it over to a professional, and you may as well concentrate on your core business rather than using your this thing, time and effort to manage these IT and other related products.
No, I think understood. Very well articulated, Sanjay ji. Now, Sanjay ji, you mentioned that you have a very heavy capital kind of structure in the business. Like you got to add a lot of assets every year. So normally,
Yeah.
on an average, what is the kind of broad investment which you got to make in hardware, like laptops or data, servers. Typically, if you could tell us what is the normal capex which a company like ours would have to do to sustain this growth, because obviously the more hardware
So
you put, the more customers you can get better rentals. So normally
yeah, we
capex, what is the kind of what capex we
so
can expect
capex is
every year?
pretty high in our business. We do somewhere around 40 to 50 crores every year. But now that we are
Okay,
listed and now that we are expanding and we are adding various verticals to our business, this might go up substantially, and that will help us in our
okay, okay,
turnover and profits. So we are working on a lot of
okay,
other verticals. We are adding white goods to our business, and we don't want to be just an IT rental company. So that is our main focus, of course.
okay,
But we are adding quite a few
okay,
other verticals to it, which will help us grow further.
okay. So all these other verticals, Sanjay ji, just for my knowledge as well as our viewers, for benefit, will this be functional in the next say 12 to 18 months? I mean, all the other segments apart from IT, which you are
Definitely,
doing.
definitely. The other, like I said, white goods, it's something that we have already started. We're working on many other aspects, which we will divulge in the next few months.
Okay. Okay, okay, fine. Understood. I think very nice. So now, post-COVID, Sanjay ji, everything has come back to normal, business is growing, which is reflected in your numbers. In your sense, 30, 35% growth, which is very solid. Do you expect this growth to continue over the next say 2 to 3 years? Without giving a number, if you could just give a kind of a outlook, what kind of outlook can we expect from a company like yours? Because this is a very unique business, and 30-35% growth is really commendable. So do you think these kind of numbers can be sustained for the next 2 to 3 years, depending on how the market grows for this? And as you rightly said, people want to outsource, they want to move on an OpEx model. So that means more business for a company like yours.
Oh yes, definitely. See, like I said, we've grown 30 to 40% every year, and we are growing on a regular basis, and there's no reason why we shouldn't be growing at this rate. Because people who, I mean, with the number of startups that are coming up, they are always short of funds, and they definitely wouldn't like to invest in a depreciating asset. So even for them, and there's so many companies coming up. India is growing. The next 20 years is India all the way. So I see no reason why a turnover
Okay.
shouldn't increase, or why orders shouldn't increase, and why, with this mindset that people have going on onto the OPEX model, I see no reason why we shouldn't grow on a regular basis.
Oh, fine. Understood. One small question, which is very fundamental, Sanjay ji, is that when you start a relationship with a new customer, typically in this business, you need to do obviously a customer profile, because if the customer is new, you need to understand if he is going to sustain business with you. So, what are the kind of checks which you do, when you actually start a relationship with a new customer? How safe is he? Whether he's going to really pay the rentals on time? इसके बारे में थोड़ा सा हमको बताइए.
So there we do quite a few of our, I mean, due diligence is done in a proper way, because that's the main aspect. So we look at the client, how old he is in this business, and how long he's sitting operating from one place, and basically what he has been doing over the years. In addition, we check his CIBIL, we check his bank accounts. I mean, we take the 3 year balance sheet, and of course we take
Okay.
a personal interest, and we do visit his residence also. So we check out uh, how
Okay. Okay.
well he's socially placed. So all those things are very much, the checks are very much there, and we take care of all these important aspects before we jump on to sign a contract.
So because see, basically, what I'm understanding, please correct me if I'm wrong, is that you put your asset in the client's office. It is your asset. You give it on rental. So typically, do you take some advance initially from the customer to ensure that there's no kind of problem of collections or bad debts? Do you do any kind of this kind of approach with some new customers?
No, normally if we have any kind of doubt, we would prefer not to do business rather than taking just that 1 month or 2 months advance and then doing business. So if our due diligence is proper and we are sure about going ahead with the business, then we do go ahead, and deposits,
Okay.
and we take security checks, but we don't take deposits.
Okay. So basically, it's your due diligence which is very important before you sign up the
Very much,
customer.
very much.
Okay. Okay. Now, Sanjay ji, important question for all of us, including you as well as our viewers. If you could tell us something about the company's forthcoming IPO, what is the size of the issue? What is the objective?
No, no,
Could tell us something about
we
the.
already more than a year old. We IPO came in last year in September 22, October 22.
Okay.
So we are already more than a year
Okay.
old. We are listed since more than a year,
Okay.
and our list we
Okay.
got listed at 78 rupees. That was our IPO listing price. And today, after
Okay.
we are somewhere around 160, 170. We've touched 200, and we are
Okay.
hovering around 170, 175 on a regular basis. So we
Okay.
already
And
more than a year,
what are the number of
old.
shareholders we have?
I think 800 plus, 800 odd.
Okay. Okay. And any kind of capex plans which you might like to fund from the capital market, or you want to fund it out of your internal accruals only? Any thought process on that going forward?
Uh, this I will diverge once, our, like I said, we are adding quite a few verticals to it. So there are a few verticals which might require a lot of investment, and huge investment rather. So once we are through with that due diligence on those lines, whether how do we take off, and uh, which of the lines we want to start immediately. So once we've decided that, we'll be needing funds. So then we'll work on the sourcing and how we can work on the funds and
Okay.
investment.
Okay. I think last question, Sanjay ji, now without wasting further time. Tell me one thing, in our business, what is the single most risk in our business? Like every business has got certain amount of risk attached. But in our business, what is the single most risk according to you? And how have you mitigated this risk up till now?
I think it's if you see this business, it's not that it's any rocket science. I mean, if you see what Bajaj Alliance is doing or Bajaj FinServ is doing, they're basically giving on a interest basis. They're giving products. So this is almost a 50-year-old business which is going on. It's always going on. Only thing that we've added to it is that we give a lot of service to it. We take care of a lot of other things along with the uh, uh, so we are taking a rent, they are taking interest plus uh, the this thing. So the difference is that we are giving complete support service. So this is a business which is there from last 50 years. It's going to be there for next 100 years. So I see no reason that it will not be there. And it's just a matter of going basically there are ups and downs. So recession is one reason. So you might have recession, there might be a small lull, a business going down for a few months and coming back again. So that is, I think, part of business, which you always have ups and downs,
Okay.
but business goes on and things do come back to normal, and you're always firing back again into your in your topmost speed the moment everything is right.
So I think very nicely articulated by you, Sanjay ji. In fact, it was really nice talking to you. Thank you very much, and
Thank you very much,
best
sir.
wishes to
Thank
you,
you.
your entire management team. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.